Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your February 2026 tarot card reading. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Let's see what comes through for you, Taurus. Big season, eclipse season. We have Neptune now in Aries. We have Uranus stationing direct. So there's kind of a lot going on, plus like 5 other things. Okay. You have a lot of 10th house energies, specifically Sun and Mars through the beginning of February. Now, Mars will be there the whole month. So there is going to be that tendency to want to climb, to achieve, to set your goals, and to really go after them. Please make sure you take the rest that you need in order to really support that. But we really start off here with that 10 of Wands, and that's perfect 10th house qualities, right? It's the hard work, having a sense of purpose, knowing what you're building, and being willing to do the labor, whatever that labor is, and to whatever degree that is. But that 10 of Wands, it's determined. And I think, Taurus, this month you are in a pretty determined place, determined to get somewhere, determined to finalize that project so you can finally move on. And that's the thing, is I think sometimes with the 10th house, we do want to experience the true harvest of all of our labor of what we've done. So if there are things that are open-ended, chances are you're pushing pretty hard to make sure that you close those things out, because you really want to make room for whatever is coming next. And that Queen of Wands, I always say she's very tenacious. And I think that you do have this ability right now to just push and have the passion and to have the fire. So I don't know if right now willpower is that much of an issue. Now, the only caveat to that is the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, which we know Neptune is now in Aries as of January 26th. Neptune is in Aries, but Saturn does not enter Aries until the 13th of February, and even then, so the build up to that, and then even after, Saturn and Neptune are still so close together. And it just might be kind of a weird energy, because on one hand it's very go go go, but then on one hand it's go go go, and then on the other hand there might be some tiredness or some dissolving of structure that you have to contend with, or whatever the case may be. So it's probably not going to be a straight line the way you would prefer. But I still think that Taurus can certainly accomplish a lot, especially with your wherewithal, right? When you have that chariot will, you can really achieve pretty much anything. And the chariot does have, and similar with the queen, both these cards I think suggest that there's an inner sense that you want to go higher or to go bigger or do something better. And it's not that you're completely dissatisfied with where you've been, it's just that you've seemed to be hitting a period of expansion. Now, one of the things that I haven't mentioned yet is Mercury and Venus coming into Pisces at the beginning of February too. Now, Venus is exalted here, so she likes to be here. So this is probably going to be a good thing for your ruling planet. Mercury does not like to be in Pisces. He is in detriment. So Venus is exalted, Mercury is in detriment. And I think the mercurial, because he's also coming in through a pre-shadow, he'll retrograde at the end of the month, so he'll be pre-shadow most of the month. So it's just not going to be a straight line. Pisces tends to be a bit murky, and then Mercury pre-shadow, certainly there are some inconveniences. The good news is I don't think you get all that worked up about it. I'm not seeing any chaos here for you. I do think that perhaps maybe Three of Wands, you get held up. It's like you have all this ambition, you're working so hard, you're in the grind, you're in the hustle, you're doing what you need to do, and yet you still feel like you have to wait for things. And that might be frustrating. Maybe waiting for other people, waiting for contracts to come through, waiting for news from the doctor, waiting for your spouse to do X, Y, and Z, waiting for the money to come in. And it might be hard because this is something you just simply don't have control over. And with the Lovers card, there often comes some big choices. Now, if you are in a partnership, now there's not a great deal in your chart regarding partnerships, but if you are, this card may suggest a pretty deep or meaningful conversation about how you proceed forward together. Because one of the things here with the Chariot and the Queen of Wands is it feels more just about you, like you as an independent person. So if you are in any type of partnership, whether romantic, business wise, whatever, it's probably a good idea to sort of convene and come together and have this heart to heart to make big decisions together based on the direction that you're headed. And maybe your partner is headed in a different direction, so you're going to have to really make sure you're on the same page. Now, if you're not in a partnership, sometimes the Lovers can indicate collaborations, but it also has a lot to do because it's Mercury, it's a Gemini card. It does have a lot to do with um, systems and logistics. And I know that sounds kind of weird because, like, what does that have to do with the Lovers? It's just the mercurial aspect of it. So, right now, and I do think this is a big message for the month, and it's because of Aquarius, because even though it's not Capricorn structure, it is about systems, and structure plays a part in that. And just so you know, if you don't know, Capricorn and Aquarius both are ruled by Saturn, so there's still a little Saturn play here. And I think we are seeing a destruction of lots of different systems in our personal lives, but those must be replaced with something else. They're going to have to be replaced with something else for sure. um, so we have to rebuild new ones. And I think maybe that has a little bit to do with the thought that goes into exactly what types of systems must be in place so that this effort can actually reap a harvest, so that we actually can um, really start to actualize and manifest the things we've been working so hard for. So that could be a part of that as well. Let's see what else comes through for you here for February, Taurus. What else does Taurus need to know? Okay, we have the Eight of Coins. Just feels like work. But again, it's not drudgery, and I don't want you to think that. It's not drudgery, it's not misery, it's purposeful, meaningful work. Good news is I'm not seeing a bunch of drama here. I'm not seeing, now we'll see what the clarifiers have to say, but so far I'm not getting an inclination that this is going to be that complicated of a month. In fact, more so, you're probably going to be more financially focused. Now, Venus and Mercury in the 11th house, eventually the sun will come in there too. This is a house of friendships, it's a house of networks and associations and things like that, but it's also a strong finance house in that this is where capital gains comes from. So it's not necessarily money that you earn through labor or through a marriage or a spouse or through a partnership, but rather through your investments. So this might be something that you're thinking about. Are you investing specifically in extensions of you, so businesses or any other types of, stocks and, all these other types of things that you can invest in and earn money on your investment? That might be something that you're really thinking about. And if there is in like if you are responsible for the income in your life, in your world, in your family, I think you're thinking about how do I get more and how can I get more based on leveraging who I am, my talents, my skills, what I know, what I like. How can I leverage that and get more return? I know that sounds very specific and it may not come through in your own consciousness in that language, and that's fine. But I do see, I mean, there's just so much work going on. Eight of Coins, 10 of Wands. I mean, you're clearly in this mindset of I'm building something, I'm doing something. Now, if you're in pure survival mode, this might be one of those moments where you're like, I got to get out of this. How can I get out of this? What do I need to do to stop being paycheck to paycheck or stop being in this situation that I'm not healthy in? You know, I'm not good in, I'm not secure in. So there's a lot of considerations with that Seven of Coins. You know, when Seven of Coins hits, it's like, well, we have to really sit and think. Now, one thing I like about this month, and this is one of the beautiful things about Aquarius Mars specifically, it's very cool, calm, collected. Aquarius is a highly detached energy. It has this ability to really take a step back and simply observe, whether you're observing itself, you're observing things around you, you're observing people, it doesn't matter, but it's a true observant archetype. And so having Mars in here gives us the mental and intellectual capacity to pull back and to not be so emotionally or sentimentally invested in things, but rather really asking ourselves, like, am I getting a return on this? Is this working? Is this going to be for my benefit? Because if I've got all this energy and all this drive and all this ambition to build something, but it doesn't seem to be paying out, well, there have to be big adjustments that are made. And sometimes when we decide to make those adjustments, it can feel like a real pushback, right? Seven of Wands, there does seem to be something kind of feeling adversarial, and you may have a lot of excuses or a lot of reasons. Oh, the money this, or the person that, or my company this, or my boss that, or whatever. And it might dissuade you a little bit, but I see a fight in Taurus right now. I see a fight to make the changes that are required so that the growth can really come through. I do think you're in a growth oriented mindset right now. It does not have to be financial, although I think you are considering your material world quite a bit with those coin cards, but it may not even be that. It might be that you just have a vision, a higher purpose, and you're working very hard to achieve that. And I'm also kind of seeing a discomfort with that Seven of Wands, that Taurus right now is really willing to put themselves in an uncomfortable place for the sake of this growth. Now, lovers and the Three of Coins to me both speak to collaboration, working with people. Sometimes there's like commissioned work that comes in here, job offers, getting the jobs, that type of thing. But really the Three of Coins is more structural. I mean, we're getting this beautiful structure here. And to me, it's like blueprints, strategy, plans, all those types of things really fall in line with the Three of Coins. It's like you have a vision, and maybe that vision has been done before, or you've seen someone else do it and you want to apply it in your own life, in your own way, in a way that works for you. And so, yeah, it does seem like we are in a heavy planning time. You've got a lot more action than most people I've seen that I've done readings for so far. I haven't done that many readings yet, but so far I haven't seen that many zodiac signs really pushing like this. So this is a bit rare, and I think just given the astrology, it does seem a bit out of the norm. Okay, and I think it's just because it's 10th house. So um that's a good thing because you can leverage it. Because I remember, I think back in October, I was talking about November, December, January, February as these were kind of hibernation months. Not that you couldn't get anything done, but it was just kind of a sleepier time. And that was because of Saturn and Neptune still kind of working through this conjunction stuff. And I think for the most part that's played out. But for you, Taurus, I think, that you're feeling that pedal to the metal kind of thing coming on right now. Now, the Knight of Wands seems extraordinarily optimistic, which is great. He seems happy to be here, happy to be a part of it. And this is also a Jupiterian quality. I'm getting the fire here. We have an Aries and we have a Sagittarius. So Jupiter and Mars. So we're getting a nice combination of those two right now. And when we combine Jupiter and Mars, there's really no limits to how far we can go. And the Knight of Wands, I think, can sense that, which means you, Taurus, can sense that. And it is truly burning this desire in you. I feel like you're kind of fiery this month. I really do. I know normally we talk about Taurus, oh, earthy, grounded, but when you get that passion going, when things start churning, I think Taurus is probably the most fiery, the most passionate of all, because of that fortitude that you tend to display. So, I mean, you seem to, sorry for hitting the mic, you seem to be kind of lit this month, lit with purpose, a desire to change your circumstances, your material circumstances, to overcome whatever obstacles you have. And yeah, okay, yeah, maybe there's a little bit of a wait or things are not coming through as quickly as you would like, but man, you are ready, definitely ready. So let's go ahead and pull out the clarifiers. These are the cards we'll cover in the comprehensive as always. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. So thank you all so much for being here. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what comes through. We have the Temperance, Hanged Man. See, I knew there was like kind of a hang up. There had to be because of Mercury coming into Pisces and kind of slowing everything down. I tend to see like when Mercury is in specific signs, Pisces is one of them, life just tends to move a bit slower. Okay, Chariot. There's a little drama there, maybe with the Tower. Although that's very Aquarian, if you ask me. So we have the Ace of Wands, Knight of Cups, and Page of Wands. More enthusiasm, more fire. Wheel of Fortune. Four of Coins. Yeah, I think there's money. There's definitely money conversations coming through. Another Three of Coins. Queen of Wands. Again, another Fool. Well, another Queen of Wands and a Fool, I meant to say. Seven of Cups. Page of Swords. Justice. Queen of Coins. The World and the Seven of Swords. Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords. I feel like that one, Five of Wands. Knight of Coins, Strength, and last but not least, Death. Okay, beautiful. All right, this is where we will pick up in the comprehensive Taurus. So if you want to join, all the info down below. Thank you all so much. You guys know I love and adore you. I hope you have a great month. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.